Hi guys, how's it going? Oh my gosh, I wanted to get on here earlier and do my video to upload for everybody since today is my training day. And gosh, where did the day go? Do you guys ever just wake up and like the day just gets away from you? Well, that's my day. That's my days every day. So anyway, before I get started, my name is Betsy and I am a director. I'm a brand new director, and in the past, this month I have been sharing stuff that has been on the workstation, things are training, YouTube videos, things like that, stuff that we should already know. So I want to kind of switch gears a little bit, and even though that stuff is important, I think, you know, we all know where to find that. If we don't, we should ask. You can find it on the workstation. You can find it on the Sensi Consultant Facebook page. You can, you know, ask your sponsor, Google it. There's so much information out there. So I don't want to waste everybody's time sharing something that we already know. So I thought that what I'm going to start doing is just sharing my own experiences with you guys, and that's probably the best thing that I can do. I'm a brand new director. I just promoted, and my thing is oh my gosh, I didn't think that I was going to I didn't think I was going to be promoting, and I have a lot of people on my team, but they were in my group. You know, it took me a while to learn what I mean, I knew what it was, but I just didn't grasp frontline, downline, team, group. It didn't make sense to me until the language was more prevalent in my daily conversations with my sponsor, and so and my director, and it dawned on me that I got those things confused a lot. So I kept referring to my group, everybody that's in my frontline, their teams, I was calling them my team. And really, they are my group. My team is my frontline, and those people that are with them. So I got that straightened out now, and I'm good. I got the lingo down. So, but when I promoted to director, I promoted to superstar, and I knew that was going to happen because I saw it coming. But director, I had no idea, because of course now you got to make a whole lot more money. You have to do 10,000, and I didn't think that was going to happen, and it did. But the crazy thing about this is that I only had three people on my front line, just three, including myself. Okay? Girl, listen. Guys, listen. I couldn't believe it. However, the people that were on my team, they got people, Kathleen, Aaron, January, they all have been getting people on their team. So now we have a whole bunch of people. There was like 25 on there when I promoted. So it was brought to my attention from my director, Janine Giles, who's the best. She's like, you need to start recruiting. And I already knew this. I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to make it. You know what? If these people don't want to work anymore, or they don't make it, there's no way. And so I'm like, oh God, okay, I need to not focus on sales anymore. I mean, I did, but I have so many repeat customers that sales are kind of easy for me. But I was like, okay, I got to go into full recruit mode. And that's kind of what I've been doing. Now I have, I think, 10 people on my front line, and we have 39 people altogether as a whole. And so I'm going to continue to add people to my front line. I am working on it. That's just like, I'm driven right now. That's all I'm doing, is I am in a recruit recruit, building my team. And I think I have like 3 brand new people just recently, and I've been working my butt off helping them, and they're doing killer. I almost have one girl that I just started. She's almost going to be certified. She just started last month at the very end of the month, and then I have one girl that just started a couple days ago, and she's about to be shooting stars. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. But I shared a couple tips today earlier, just in a slide, and I wanted to just kind of go over that real quick with you. I know it's getting late. I'm going to upload this and you guys can watch it whenever, so that's why I didn't do a live. Anyway, my training tips, put my glasses on because I'm blind as a bat. My training topics that I wanted to talk about is networking, broadening your circle. And the other thing I talked about was routine, checking in, and reaching out. Okay? For me, I'm a big networking person. Okay? For me, networking is so important. My baby's trying to splash me. He's in the pool. Otherwise, I don't have time to talk. Networking is super important. And it needs to be broader than just your Scentsy business. Okay? You need to start networking with many other people. I am in a networking group where once a month we meet, and it's like 75 of us. We get into they rent a office room, and we haven't had it for a couple months because of COVID, but and sometimes it's once every 3 months. But all of us networking people, I mean, there's doctors in there, there's real estate agents, there's multi-level marketing, there's people that sell clothes, there's people that work in the hospitality industry, and we all meet and we just brainstorm networking. We get together, like we bring some of our resources in, our training materials, our books, our catalogs, our samples, and everybody just kind of sits together in a big round table, and we just chop it up and we share things that work, things that don't. I've gotten plenty of customers from those networking groups, and you kind of learn a lot, you know. The other thing is you have to really pay attention when you're scrolling on Facebook or when you're on your social media platforms. You wanna pay attention to what people are saying. You know, just certain words like I'm low on money, or I wish I had something to do, or I need to go on a vacation. Just there's little pinpoint words that I tend to hone in on, and when I see somebody voice something like that, if they're my friend, of course, obviously I am a public person, so a lot of my stuff is kind of public, so people sometimes will like something that don't really know who they are, and then I'll just comment on their post, and I'll be like, I won't just barge in and say, oh, let's sell Scentsy, I got the answer to all your problems. No, it's very subtle. It's you kind of just want to find out if that's really what they're saying, if that's really what they need, and just kind of listen and kind of build a little bit of a relationship one step at a time. I'll do that. I also will look for networking through doing events. I can find a party, somebody needs something. This is all part of networking, and it has to be bigger than just your Scentsy circle. Okay, I have a lot of ideas about that, so if you want to talk about networking, shoot me a message. The other thing is routine. Oh my god, since I've gotten more people on my team, my front line, I have to have a routine. Before, I would learn about what's new because somebody posted it and I saw it and I'm like, oh my god, I should have known that. And I realized that I'm not checking the news tab on my workstation first thing when I start work. And I'm telling you, that is so important to check the news tab on a daily, because even though in our sanctuary group there is a what you need to know in our page there, but you can find it out yourself, and it's good because that way if you read it, you know how to get to it, you know what's happening. So check that news tab, check to see what's in there. The other thing is routine. Like, I wake up, this is what I do. Check my news tab, check my numbers, check to see what my team is doing. I look to see if I have any emails. I go check out my my notepad to see if there's any tasks in there that I need to do. If just if I got to reach out to somebody, and then I go to my AMI and I will see what I need to do in there. I do use Amy. I love that. I would say I like to change it up because sometimes the messages kind of are redundant, so it's good to change them. And these are just little routines. I'm telling you right now, my day is crazy. I'm telling you, crazy. People that have 5 kids, I will trade you your 5 kids for my one. Anybody that has a special needs kid, you know what I'm talking about. My son is 10, and he's terrified of the toilet, and he doesn't comprehend going to the bathroom yet, and so he's not potty trained. Can you imagine that? I've been changing diapers for 10 years, and it's terrible. And he's terrified of the toilet, so yeah, you can imagine. So he needs to be followed everywhere you go, otherwise it's complete chaos. So, and he needs routine. He's very structured, but there's a lot of craziness in between. So for me to stay on task, stay on point with Scentsy, I have to do very simple things, and it has to be very routine. I can't go big, grandiose task, because I know that if I do that, I'm going to get overwhelmed with all the other things that I have to do. Not that it's not important, it's just that I keep things tailored to what I know that I can do, so I don't put too much on my plate and cause myself too much stress. The other thing is checking in and reaching out. Oh my gosh, so big. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be very candid here. In the past, it's not that I didn't care, it's not that I didn't want to, it's just I let my home life with my son, as chaotic as it is, I let that control my business, and it was hurting it, and I was neglecting my team. And what happened was they kind of just bunched up together, and they did their own thing, and they were fine. They didn't really need me, but they would have liked to have me there present. And what had happened is I started noticing that they had all this camaraderie, and I wasn't, not that I wasn't involved, because I was always welcome, but I was not participating, and it became obvious to me that this was happening. And I started thinking about, oh my God, like I'm supposed to be the one like leading the way, and I'm dropping the ball, and I needed to do something different. And so I began little by little inching my way in, because I thought, oh, if I just go bombard them and be like, I'm back, accept me, and then I happen to flake and I don't come back again, I didn't want that to happen. And I feel like if I would have bombarded my way in, that's the welcome that I would have gotten. And so I just kind of warmed myself back up, started doing little things to, not to gain their trust, but just so that they would take note that I'm back, that I'm trying, that I'm working. And it became obvious to them, and they began to recognize it, and they were very gracious and thanking me and honored that I'm back. And I am back, and I have a lot to learn, because like I said, they have been like their own group. The bulk of them have been their own group, and they've been just kind of smooth sailing all on their own. So here I am, this person with just 2 people, 3 people, and now I'm a director, and I have to figure out, now I have to really, like, you know, not take over, but I have to figure out a way to lead them with integrity and respect. And so I have worked on balance. I've looked at what I need from James. I've told everybody, hey, this is what I deal with on a daily. And they all know, they all say, yeah, we understand what you're going through. And they appreciate that. So we have this open dialogue about me. And the thing is, I have an open dialogue now about them. Like, I know a lot of them I don't really know as well, because like, I haven't really met them, but we're starting to do more Zooms or chat calls, and I met a couple people. We're moving in that direction where we're trying to be connected more, and so I'm learning what each and every one of them who have been interacting with me, I'm learning about their lives. I'm learning about what they're going through, what their struggles are, you know, and I'm learning for myself how I can better help everybody, because everybody needs something different, you know, and some people need a lot of support, some people don't need much, some people just are comfortable knowing that they have a safety net there for somebody to come to if they need it. And that's the person that I want to be. You know what, I don't have, like, I'm still trying to learn how to, like, look to see who's going to promote, and like I'm having trouble learning how to do these filters, so I can't wait to do leadership so I can learn a little bit more about the workstation and how to look to who's promoting and who's not, because honestly I'm still learning and I don't really know. And I will probably be hooking up with my director so she can show me, and you know, it's all a learning process, and I'm okay with that, you know. But I thought that it would be really important for me to just take the time and be very honest. I'm not a know-it-all, but I'm a very kind, compassionate person, and when I don't know something, or if I'm doing something wrong, or if I'm not living up to my standards, I have to be the first one to admit it, you know. And I think that's what takes a good leader, is being able to be vulnerable and admit that, hey, I'm not perfect. I'm learning. I'm right here with you, you know. My title is just a little bit different than yours, but we're all here together. And that, once you start understanding that, you're not going to have drama in your group. You're not going to have drama in your team. It's just going to be a big old happy love connection. I don't know about a love connection, but definitely family. You know, there's a lot of just amazing stuff going on with our team, and gosh dang it, I'm just so proud of them, you know. I really, really am. And the other thing is reaching out. Reaching out is so important. When I see that people are not making any sales, I really like reach out and be like, hey, what's stopping you? And it'll blow your mind when you hear some of the answers that they have to say. I think as a leader, there's nothing wrong with me going up and saying, hey guys, I see that you're struggling. Is there something I can do to help? And that's my approach. I don't ever say, oh, you're not making no sales, you suck, what are we going to do about it? No. Obviously, something is going on, and I'm going to find out what it is and see if we can work on it. You know, so reaching out to your team, reaching out to your sponsor, reaching out to your downline, reaching out to your customers, and reaching out to your family. You know, I've had to talk with my family and let them know, hey, I've got to give a piece of the pie being my time, to my business, because I want this. You know, I can't work anymore. My son requires around-the-clock care. I can't work. There's no way. I can barely take a shower sometimes. So this is it for me. Well, this is it. Okay. So from this point on, I'm going to be sharing with you guys what I'm doing, what's worked for me, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay? The thing about networking, I wanted to just go back to that real quick. When you broaden your circle, there was a young man that shared something about yard landscaping on Facebook. I think he did it on Facebook, and it came across my newsfeed. And obviously his picture was, it was like he barely knew what he was doing, and I could tell, and that's okay. But people were just busting this poor kid's balls, like, excuse the term. They were being mean to him. They were just like, because he boosted a post, and turned out he lives here in Stockton, and he boosted a post for the whole United States. And people were just like making fun of him and telling him he was wasting his money, and they were just being real jerks to him. And I was like, hey, you guys, you know what? Don't expect perfection if you're not perfect yourself. Instead of busting this poor kid's balls, how about you teach him something? How about give him some pointers? And the one guy was like, well, why would you be like that? And he's like, well, I know all about Facebook and doing ads, and I have this business, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, then you should be the first one to help him, And he sent me a message, and I asked the boy, his name was Javier, I asked him, I said, where do you live? Turns out he lives in my town. I'm like, that's great. I was like, I need some help with my yard, because with COVID-19, I don't have no free time anymore. I used to do it when James was in school, and I can't no more. So I needed help. He came, give me an estimate. He told me he was brand new. He's just starting his little business. He's young. He's like 19, 20 years old. Never boosted a post, never made a Facebook page. He's just learning. And he came and he gave me an estimate. He came with this little black book, and when he opened the book, he only had one little entry on there, and I think he was cutting someone's grass for like $30. And it makes me teary-eyed, because this kid, his family is struggling right now, and he's a landscaper already, and he does that during the day with his brother. They're twins, and he needed to earn money to help his family, because both of his parents aren't working anymore because of COVID-19. And he came over and he gave me an estimate that was so low that I couldn't believe it. I was like, okay, $30 to mow the grass, and my rose bushes are like insane, and he was going to charge me $15 to cut my rose bushes and spray the weeds. Sorry, I got emotional. And so he was going to charge me $55 to do all this work. He came today, and he was out there for almost 3 hours. He did so much. My husband paid him $110. He gave him the tip was almost what he charged. And I talked to him about it, and I said, I'm sorry that those people were like that to you. And I helped him. I showed him how to do a little bit of those posts, and showed him how to boost a little bit. Even though I'm still learning too, I showed him what I could. And so that's what I wanted to bring home about networking, is that it's a beautiful thing when you network, because you never know who you're going to run into. You never know. He's going to come in 2 weeks. I hired him. He's going to be my landscaper. He's going to come every 2 weeks, and what a blessing, because I need so much help. Anyway, that's all I got for the night. I'm sorry that it's so late. I don't even want to get into what my day's been like, but the day is good. God is good. Everybody's great. And you guys have a good night. I'm sorry if it was so long and winded. All right, bye.